it's Cheryl Willis over at Go Arizona Real Estate, coming to you right now with March 2022 monthly market update. That's a mouthful, right? Thank you so much for your comments and your feedback. Please continue providing that information for me. I'm going to be covering 3 different things in this video. The first 2 are for buyer side. Whether you're moving here, relocating, and you want to learn more about what's going on in the market, like the actual real estate market. And number 2, we're going to be talking about investors briefly, give you some tips and tricks and some ideas if you're thinking about investing here in the greater Phoenix area. And the second part or third item is going to be for those homeowners that have already purchased from me here in the greater Phoenix area, and we hope you're enjoying yourself. We'll give you a little tips and tricks as a homeowner at the end. All right, guys, let's get straight to it, right? It is still an absolutely incredibly strong seller's market. It is so over the top seller's market that it's really kind of hard to remember what it might have been like in a balanced market. A lot of people don't realize they think that since the market crash in 2009, 2010, 2011 was actually the bottom. We were actually in a flat even keel market from the years 2014 to 2019. 2019, just before COVID hit the world, we were already seeing a huge uptick in the inbound migration from other states domestically. Currently today, here in the Phoenix area, out of a normal 100%, we are seeing 112% of our normal buyer activity. And where the real snafu is with our supply. We're going to go into that just a little bit more, but the supply is what the problem is. I don't know if it's necessarily a problem. Here's the fact. We are creating more jobs in the greater Phoenix area than homes, and that is going to continue over the next 6 to 8 years. So for those of you that might be on the fence, let me give you the best advice. When a buyer calls me and says, when's the best time to buy? My answer is 5 years ago. There's no way to go back in time, but let me tell you, anybody that's even said, I wish I bought a year ago, is already kicking themselves that they haven't made that purchase. Do we still have a lot of appreciation to be earned in the greater Phoenix area? Absolutely. We're going to break that down for you when we get to the property owner section. All right, for buyers, let's break it down to the numbers. If you are looking under $600,000, it's going to be very challenging for you. Our area market median, which is all of the sales that have been completed, and then they divide by that exact number, you get the median number, which is today is 458. We look at the median number as opposed to the average number because the median number is a slower moving number, as opposed to, let's just say March is a busier month than February, it's going to spike tremendously, but we want that slow moving number. So today's median number is $458,000. If you go online, Google, and you can search where you live, let's just say you live in Palo Alto, California. Type in Palo Alto, California, house price median. It's going to give you a really good feel of what Phoenix is going to feel like. Is Arizona cheap? No. Is it cheaper than most large metropolitan areas, especially the western coastal states? Yes, it is less expensive. But if you're coming in from, for instance, Florida, Illinois, Ohio, it might not feel cheaper, but the one thing I really try to point out, it's not just the housing cost, it's the cost of living. So you're going to want to go to my favorite website, it's bestplaces.net, and you can actually compare cities. So depending on where you live, you can type in that main city. And then for the greater Phoenix area, depending on where you're looking to purchase, you can type in Phoenix, Chandler, Scottsdale, Peoria, etc. And it'll give you a good idea of what it will feel like. So even if maybe housing prices, which I have to say in the Chicago suburb area, it is very consistent with what we have here. But whoa, is everything else a lot less expensive in Arizona? All right, let's get back to the actual market. So under $600,000, we are seeing massive multiple offers, usually within 24 to 48 hours. Let me tell you the market. Monday, Tuesday, kind of admin day for us realtors. We kind of clean up all our paperwork. Wednesday, we get everything ready for the weekend. Thursday, we start to see new listings that go on the market. Friday is when the biggest day for new listings to come on the market. And then Saturday, everybody runs out to look at them and all offers are due on Sunday. Believe you me, it's no fun for us, but we do have a lot of strategies that we are able to get our buyers into the exact home they are looking for. And it has been very successful, even in the last few months, let alone the last year. We've helped hundreds of families move here. And yeah, I'll be honest with you, it takes that extra cash. So I tell people that they need 3 buckets, all right? You need your down payment. And if you are a first-time home buyer, you can do a 3% down. If you are not a first-time home buyer, you could do 5, 10, or 20. And the reason I bring that up is because if you have a bucket of, let's just say $100,000, it's also not only your down payment, but you need to come in with your closing costs, which when you are using our lender, which I cannot tell you how important it is to use a local lender here in Arizona. And I don't mean credit union and I don't mean National Bank. You need to use a local lender. That will give you a slight edge on any other buyers that aren't. Okay, so there's a little trick for you. Now, the third bucket is what we call sweeten the pot, right? And we are seeing consistently buyers. The problem isn't necessarily the seller. I think a lot of people immediately want to throw this off on the seller and say, oh, they're being so greedy. The seller just puts the house on the market and it's the competition that you need to step up to. So it's not the sellers that are saying you have to waive this and waive the appraisal and give me extra money and shorten this and accept the home as is. It's the competition that's coming in and saying, I have no problem doing that. And so therefore, if you want the home and you want to compete in this market, you need to do the same. If you haven't already sat down and had a Zoom call with me, we will talk about strategies and definitely give us a call. But for the most part, everybody that's receiving this has, in fact, done a Zoom call with me. All right, so under 600, you're going to need a good strategy. Between 600 and 1 million, it is still it's a seller's market all the way to the top. I can't even tell you, but 600 to 1 million, there's a lot more options and there's a lot more opportunities. Also, if you have an abundance of cash, instead of picking an amazingly over-the-top perfect home with everything already there, we can also help find properties that might need a little love. And we have a long list of contractors. I just completely remodeled my house as well as my backyard, which is actually continuing tomorrow, which I cannot wait. Anyways, the point being is there's a lot more options if you are between 600 and 1 million, and you might have, again, a little bit more extra cash, maybe $100,000 to $200,000. Now, this is kind of surprising. Believe it or not, $1 million doesn't get you a Scottsdale home anymore. In fact, the average in Scottsdale is over $1 million. So that new $1 million price tag in the Northeast, you're really going to have to be closer to 2 million, possibly even 3 million to really get those wow factor homes. But rest assured, there are still homes in the 1 million to 2 million that are fantastic finds. We find them every single week. It's been fun, but here's what the challenge is. Because interest rates have gone up, many people that were cash buyers previously were financing. And now because money was cheap, right? But now because interest rates have gone up a little bit, they've also went down a little bit. We know there's going to be a lot of fluctuation this year. And of course, everything depends on what's going on in Ukraine. Well, I wouldn't say everything, but there's a lot of things that are going on at the same time. Point is, those finance buyers have now become the full cash buyers, and it's even more competitive. If you are in the $1 million to $2 million price range, your biggest competitor is a cash buyer, and they are coming in many times as much as $250,000 over list price, everything waived, ginormous earnest deposits, completely non-refundable. So that is our market, but rest assured, if you want to buy, if you're ready to buy, if you're thinking about buying in the next year or two, definitely give us a call. If we haven't put a strategy together, we need to put it in place for you so that we can get you in when the timing is right. All right, let's go now straight over to our investors, which we love investors. And I've worked with investors since, gosh, early 2000s. What we have seen is the highest rents we have ever seen. The median rent for a 1,500 to 2,000 square foot, three bedroom, 2-bath home in the greater Phoenix area was the highest it's ever been, right now at $2,300. Now, again, this is everything, okay? So this is also like $1 million home in Scottsdale. This is not including short-term rentals. This is long-term rentals. But you're talking, I had someone just call the other day from Seattle, and they were looking for a 5-bedroom, 3 full bath in the Chandler area. And we are looking at $5,000 a month. So it brings up that average. Don't think if you're gonna buy a home out in Santan, definitely not in Buckeye. I get it. Investors tend to gravitate where it's least expensive and expect the biggest return. Because our prices have gotten a little crazy, you're not going to get that same return in those lower price points. Use long-term rentals, you're going to be looking at somewhere between 3 and 5% return on your monthly rental. That's not very good, but here's the great news, guys. Short-term rentals. All right, not only are we a huge vacation destination and we have a multi-billion-dollar tourist industry here in the greater Phoenix area. Spring training resumes this week, or I guess starts. We've had car show, we have golf courses, and guess what we have next January? Well, February, Super Bowl. Now is a fantastic time. Now you might be a little nervous, like, how do I get started in the short-term rental? Well, of course, you can always come straight to us because we can help you from beginning to getting it rented. First of all, most short-term rentals, when they're hand-selected by me and my team, you are looking at a 10% average return every single month. Wow, does that just knock out long-term rentals, right? When you talk about wear and tear on homes as well, I know a lot of people that might be thinking, well, I'm gonna move, but I was thinking of selling my home because I don't wanna rent it, because I don't want anybody to thrash it. Well, you know what? That does tend to happen more often than it does with short-term rentals. Well, the things with short-term rentals, when they rent it, they take out an insurance policy. And as soon as they vacate, there's immediately, when I refer you over to our amazing short-term rental property management team, they take care of everything, literally. So we will help you find the home. We'll give you the potential return on the most conservative side. So right now we're seeing about $600,000 to $650,000 for the purchase of the home. And then the projections that we're seeing are right around $60,000 to $65,000. So you can see it's right at 10%. Now that's gross. The possibilities are up to you, because we will give you that recommendation. First of all, for the property management company, we'll also help you if you need to, if you don't live here especially, we will help you design and stage your entire home very budget consciously. You don't need brand new furniture, but I'll tell you, the wow factor is really what gets these properties rented. And here's the thing too, just had another conversation with the owners there of the property management company. It's not so much about how much you get per night, it's how often you rent the home. So for instance, let's just take a number. If you were, had a medium-sized home, let's say it was $300 a night, and therefore all your weekends were booked. And that's reasonable for a weekend, right? But what if you lowered it to $250, and instead of only having weekends booked, you also had weekdays booked? So take that $250 times 7 versus the $300 times 3. Clearly, if you go just a little bit underneath the radar, offer great amenities, great customer service, great experience. And to be honest with you, this is what people don't realize. You want to be close proximity to things, but it doesn't have to be walking distance. So I would highly discourage Scottsdale. It is massively we have over 5,000 short-term rentals here in the greater Phoenix area. And most of them About 4,000 of them are in the city of Scottsdale. So we're going to show you some hot spots. We'll show you how to get them managed. We'll show you how to get them designed and decorated, and you'll be off to the ground running. They will take care of everything. They'll pay for your utilities, the cleaning, the landscaping. All you do is sit back. If you want to use your own home for a vacation rental, you can just go online and book it yourself. And you just have to pay for a cleaning fee. Did I say that right? Other than that, you just receive a check every single month. Now, here is something that's really important. And again, if you waited to invest in a property, boo, because investor loans have changed, as have second home loans. If you had bought a home from us a few months ago, even, we had someone that just came in right before they cut it off. A second home was treated very much like a first-time home. You could do it 10% down. It was the same interest rate. No big deal. Obviously, it's just an income verification thing. Now, second homes are in that bucket with an investor. And so they add on interest, usually 1 point, as an investor. So if it's something you're on the fence about, don't hesitate. Give me a call right now. Let's not wait before interest rates go up anymore, and let's figure this out for you. All right, let's get to the property owners. You're gonna love these stats. So for those of you who probably bought last year with us and you are thinking, did I overpay? Have you been watching what your home value has been doing? Oh my goodness. First of all, you will receive a monthly email from HomeBot that I set you up on, and that will give you a monthly update on the heat of the market. It doesn't talk about, the prices and listings and things like that. It's going to talk specifically about the temperature, the heat index of the market, and it will show you your property's value and where it kind of fits into what's going on. It's a great email. My clients love it. So if you haven't opened it up, you're gonna want it because it's a great tool. All right, let's talk about values now, just kind of in general. All right, first of all, last year we saw an average for the greater Phoenix area at 27%. And so many, Zillow, Redfin, all these other companies, Open Door, Code, I don't even remember all the places, but everybody was saying, 2022 is not going to be as stealth on that appreciation. Well, let me tell you that 12 months keeps changing, right? Every single month. And yes, we are anticipating that it will go from 27% over the last 12 months. We were anticipating it would come down to about 20. Well, March to March, which is surprising to be honest with you, we're at 27.2. Okay, and here, property owners, here is the great news. You were worried about if you bought last year and you overpaid, which is still happening as I pointed out. Will you catch up, or when will you catch up? Well, the good news is here, many of you have already caught up, if not already passed it. Look at what is already happening just this couple months this year. Gosh, goodness, we're just into March right now. So although we saw a lull last summer, and we also saw a lull during Christmas time, which are the two slowest seasons for real estate. Nobody wants to buy a home in July. Nobody wants to move in July and August. Blech. And then December, everybody was on great holiday. So soon as January hit, right back to where we were, we saw a 1.6 appreciation. February, fantastic month at 2.9. And here today, it's only the middle of the month. Only the middle of the month. Today is March 14th when I'm videotaping this video, and already we are at 1.8. It's only going to go up from there. So it'll be interesting to see when we close March, and I tell you next month what it looks like. You guys are in a good spot, and here's what my recommendations are too. Monthly, I send out another email to you. It's called Go Check It Out. And me and the team each give our personal recommendation for different places to try out. Happy hour events, golf, happy hours, kids events, whatever it might be. So you'll be introduced to 5 new things every single month. And then at the very bottom of the newsletter, called Go Check It Out, I have in there my little tips and tricks about home ownership and what you should be doing each month. Look, owning a home in Arizona is completely different than living in the Midwest or even in California. And it's not until you live here a couple of years that you realize, oh, I should have done this and I should have done this then. Well, take my experience. I learned when I touched a pot and it burned my hand, I don't do anything wrong twice. At least I try not to. And I'll give you my recommendations on what you should be doing each month. And if you continue to do these little things each month, you are going to save in energy, you're going to enjoy your home, you're going to have less repairs long-term. And my other recommendation is, as a property owner, make sure that you have a house emergency fund, right? Or a savings fund. And the general rule is 1% of your home's value is what you should be reinvesting in your home every single year. Now, that doesn't mean that at the end of the year, you should go, oh my gosh, where can I put in $5,000? Sometimes I realize but sometimes you'll bank that and do it in 2 years, maybe put a new roof on or maybe a new AC. But I cannot tell you how it will creep up on you. Even if you buy a brand new home, in a matter of 3 to 5 years, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, look at this. The paint is thinning. The fascia boards are exposed. I have tiles. Like, get your roof checked every 5 years. Like I said, we'll give you monthly recommendations so that you can stay on top of it when you buy a home in Phoenix. All right, guys, I hope that covered absolutely everything for you. I sure appreciate you watching. And if you know of anybody that's thinking about buying in or out of the greater Phoenix area, forward this video on to them. I'd love to connect with them. You all know my number. It's all below, my email as well. I hope you are all doing well, and look for my next client event that's going to be coming up, hopefully late spring. Backyard's being done. All right, talk to y'all soon. God bless.